Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the Love Coach, and I am coming here today for our brand new offering, which is a masterclass. We are switching from Love Circle to Masterclass, and why it is a little bit different and why it will be once a month. Um, I've been studying metaphysics for quite a while, and I'm also a student of Kabbalah, and I love to learn all about coaching and human behavior. And my background is in science, to be very specific, cytogenetics. And I combine all the emotional, metaphysical aspects of our own existence and also the physical aspect of our existence. And that is a long journey I take with my clients to help them come into their heart and become one with their soul. So, in offering a 30-minute love circle, I was not able to get so much deeper. So, we are starting a new offering, which is a masterclass. You can sign up to get a Zoom link and you can join me live here in the Zoom room and you can interact and ask questions at the end of our time together. But what we'll be doing is it will be about 50 minutes to an hour, depending on what subject we are talking about. But we'll be going so much deeper to the level where I like to take my clients to. I will be teaching more from the soul consciousness. I will be helping you separate yourself or be able to see where your ego is and where your soul is and slowly reduce that gap where you get to live as your infinite, unlimited self. So that is the concept for this whole year. This whole year, I will be teaching master classes, and there will be definitely other offerings to help you live your life to your fullest potential. Today is our first one. It is February 6th. This is our first one for the year. And it is three beliefs to create your limitless reality. Now, you might have heard about limiting beliefs and how they stop you, how you're not able to really live up to your potential because something is blocking you. We want to learn. Yes, we all know that, we limit ourselves. We want to learn what else can I do? What frees me from this cage that I have created? What stops me? We kind of know. How do I get over that stopping point? How do I get to my infinite self? So, this whole class is about that. You'll walk away knowing three things, just three things to focus on. So, they are three energies within you, they are three beliefs within you. And from that point, if you stay focused, just like, that racehorse that has like eyes covered, you stay focused, you will see shifts in your physical reality right away. You will feel difference in how you are being. Your emotions will be different right away, given if you actually practice it, because knowledge is just knowledge, but when you actually implement it, it becomes part of you, it becomes wisdom, and that is when you become a different version of you. So, when we talk about limitless reality, let's talk about what stop you from being that. So you might know that, I procrastinate. I would love to have certain body, but I love sugar. So that is my weakness. That is how I stop myself. I lose few pounds, they come back. I get into a relationship, but then after 6 months, it starts falling apart. It's the same pattern I've been living. How do I get to a place where I can actually enjoy a beautiful relationship? So you might have all these questions, and you could have the financial struggle that my finances keep going up and down. I have a saving, and then a big expense come, and all of that is gone. You don't experience the endless or the limitless aspect of your soul. So just ask yourself, in your personal opinion, what stops you from getting there? Because when we start asking ourselves these questions, that is when we are getting ready to expand beyond that. If you have not searched and look for bugs in your apartment, I live in northern New Jersey, that is how world is in our area. If you have not done the effort to look for them, you cannot remove them. So right now we are doing the effort, we are making the effort to look for what you think stops you. I can tell you what stops me. It's lack of consistency. I know I can do something for 7 days. I can do something for 14 days. I can do something for 21 days. After 21 days, the real struggle starts for me. And that is what I'm consistently working on right now. I'm in a 40-day program. Can I go all the way 40? I have been in a 90-day program. Can I go till 90? Can I work out consistently for that many days? Maybe workout would be easier than, eating healthy. So when you know how you stop yourself, that is when you're getting ready to get to that infinite part of you. So that is the first question I just want to ask you. The answer would be right there. It's going to pop up right in front of you. You would know what the answer is. What happens most of the time, we love to lie to ourselves. We love to lie to ourselves. We say, oh, no, I don't think so. That is the problem. And then we ask ourselves, okay, what is the problem? And you're like, I don't know what is the problem. Take a moment, be willing to be honest with yourself. When you're honest and you get to that truth within you, that is where the freedom comes from. It does not come from just keep giving yourself more stuff and more stuff and more stuff and not really digging deeper to discover what is truly going on within you. So that is the first piece. The second piece is, what do you think is your infinite self? Again, in your own opinion, in your understanding, you have been on this journey so far. And of course, that's why you're here watching me. What do you think is your endless self or infinite self? Your own personal definition. I will share with you my personal definition when I started this journey was that there is something within me that can be activated. That is when I started the journey. Where I am right now, I can already feel that there is a version of me that energetically, metaphysically exists that is complete, whole, and perfect. And the more I focus on that truth, the easier it is for me to connect with that aspect of me. Now, let's get into what is really going on with our limitless self. So, I will help you understand a little bit about you being in a human body. Each and every one of us came from somewhere, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in any religion, or you don't believe in anything, but this is the truth that exists. This universe is run by a force. I am talking right now because there is some kind of energy running through me. And right now, living in the modern age, it's so easy for us to understand. The computer is on because there's electricity. Your phone is, turns on because there is charge in it. So the same way there is a charge within each and every one of us, all living and non-living things. We have that. It came from a source. And here's my physical self, but my non-physical self exists in a way where my physical eyes cannot see it. For that, we activate our inner eye. And, if that is a journey you're on, I really commend you for that. That is a personal journey I have been on. When I am able to see my soul, let me just admit a person and I will be making myself. Okay. Oh, okay. So now it will record neat and nicely. When I am, okay, just getting back to where we were. So when we are existing in that metaphysical self, and we do the effort in the physical body to connect with that part of us. And that is something I've been working on for many, many, many years. And the day I was able to see the face of my soul, and the day I was able to see the energy of my soul, everything shifted for me. After that, I just stopped being so obsessed about my physical body. But to get there, there was a lot of learning, understanding, a lot of meditative practice, a lot of waking up at 3 a.m., because that is when our connection with the physical, between the physical and the non-physical is so much easier, because that is just the energy of the day at that time, or the night at that time. That is the energy of the universe at that time, that the veil is so thin you can connect. So there's a lot of work that goes in to get there. But once you get there, everything shifts in the way you interact with your physical reality. For this masterclass, I will not be taking you there, but I will be taking you to the consciousness of that endless self. That endless self already exists. We can call it your soul, we can call it your divine spark. And in that existence, or that soul, is complete. We are a projection of that. And that soul has come here to do something very specific. Now, right now, I'm just building your consciousness to a level where you can receive, where I'm about to share with you later on. Again, I love to study all kind of different things, and there was this one class that I took where I learned even the way my face is, the way my eyes are, my eyebrows are, the shape of my nose, my cheek, my lips, my chin, and of course, palmistry, we all know about it. The way my body is shaped, it's exactly what my soul needed. When my chin is certain way, that means I can be a certain kind of person. I do have that potential within me. People who have a specific nose, they are on a specific path. So a person who have studied that, they can just look at my face and they can know exactly why my soul came here. So now for those of us who sometimes get over obsessed with how our body looks and doesn't look, and we try to, use Botox, we try to use plastic surgery to get it fixed, my friend, your soul chose the body that was the perfect representation of what you came here to do. So the body you're in is exactly you need it. If you're short, if you're tall, if your hair are red or they are black or they are golden, it was every single thing was chosen because it represents what that soul is here to do and what it can do. Even the color of your eyes. It's so fascinating when we start studying how the universe is created and the structure and the soul's journey. So now just coming back to whoever you are in this moment, that metaphysical self decided that. That is the physical body I am going to go into. And now you're here in the physical body. And think of it this way, like one of the way my mentor helped me understand, think of it this way, that you are a massive, giant light. And now someone is trying to put you in a matchbox. If we remember what a matchbox looked like, a tiny matchbox. If you are having hard time understanding that, grasping that, think of it, there's an elephant and you're trying to put that elephant in a matchbox. How would that experience would be? That is what a physical experience is for a soul. So when we are in the body, we forget I am that giant elephant or I am that giant light with infinite potential. Why does that happen? Because we have, with the body, we have five physical senses. Your eyes would see the lack around you. Your eyes maybe are looking in the mirror and they're like, your nose is weird, your chin is weird. Your ears are going to hear things about you when you were little. Maybe your parents were saying stuff. So we, hang on to that. Maybe you touched or you've been touched in a unhealthy or unkind way. Maybe you have smelled stuff that was not very pleasant, and you're like, this is where I will be stuck. For example, kids who come from a lineage of addiction, it is very hard for them to break away from that, smell of smoke or alcohol or, whatever else is available. And then, the taste as well. We can almost taste the reality we've been living. We can almost taste our childhood, and we don't know how to go beyond that. So now this giant elephant come in a matchbox and it is stuck thinking, that's who I am. So one of the things I want to highlight before we get to that infinite self is I want to highlight the ways your body puts you in a box. Number one, judgment. We judge ourselves. And if you say, no, Alia, I don't judge myself, pay attention to, do you judge other people? Do you judge um, the drivers on the road? Do you judge the prices of the grocery? Do you judge, like every time you're like, this is not how it's supposed to be. This is so unfair. This is not the right thing. Now you will be saying, well, given whatever is going on in our wonderful country right now, you'd be like, that's not judgment. We don't want that. Why that is happening? Judging is when you dismiss something and you don't want it to be that way. You think it needs to be another way. That is ego trying to control. Soul consciousness is whatever is happening, it is leading me somewhere. If right now my body is, let's say, 200 pounds, it's activating the desire within me that I want to be 120 pounds. To even the 200 body that I am judging and I'm rejecting, it's igniting that desire within me. Whatever is going on in the world right now, it's igniting a desire within each and every one of us. We want a different world. So what it's doing, it's forcing every single one of us to remember we are this giant, massive element stuck in a tiny box. And that is the consciousness where you are going to connect with your infinite self. And the second thing we want to focus on, before I move on any further, when we are stuck in judgment and criticism, our heart closes too. You cannot have an open heart while you're judging yourself or you're judging another person. Why do we want to have an open heart? If your heart is closed, you can never connect with your metaphysical essence, which is your soul. We can also call it your root. You cannot connect with your root. So imagine you want to go somewhere, but you don't have gas in your car. And let's imagine it's not an electric car. Are you going to go anywhere? No, you're not going to go anywhere. You'll feel stuck. That's why most of us human, we feel stuck because we are disconnected, because we are stuck in thinking we are a box, we are a tiny box, while we are this infinite being. So judgment and criticism is one of the ways we limit ourselves. And I know judgment is a habit. That is how we feel in control. That is how ego feels like I am safe. So we stay stuck in that judgment. We stay stuck in that criticism, and it's invisible. We don't even see it. Sometimes it's just in our head. No one can see it. So we think it's harmless. My friend, it's not harmless. If you want to be your limitless, endless self, judgment gotta go. And there is a lot of deeper healing work that we do together. If you ever want to do that, you can reach out to me, or you can find another practitioner to do that work where you get to a level that there's no need to judge and you can feel safe and in control without judging, criticizing, or complaining. The second thing that blocks us, that keeps us small, is our perception. What do you think about yourself? Who do you think you are? Just before, I got on this teaching this master class, I was having a back and forth conversation with one of my clients where this person feels very liberated in environment B. But in environment A, they feel very suffocated and limited and stuck and anxious. And I was just highlighting to them how they see themselves in the environment A is what's creating that reality, and how they see in environment B is creating that reality. We are that powerful. That light that is within you, that giant elephant stuck in a tiny matchbox, is that powerful. And once you learn that, it's one thing you're like, oh, Alia just said that, so maybe I am. It's one thing to learn that, but it's another level when you can actually feel it and you can embody it. So the way you see yourself, and I will help you, heal all of that by the time we are done here. You will have a different way of thinking about yourself. So always challenge and ask yourself, how do I see myself? Most likely, you see yourself the way your parents saw you, the way your siblings saw you, the way society saw you, the way other people told you. If someone said you're so smart, you'll think, "Oh yeah, I am smart." If someone said you're ugly, you might still think somewhere you're ugly even though that happened, 30, 40 years ago. We hold on to those things because that is how we feel safe. Because our nervous system, again, we are a victim of our five physical senses. If we can get out of that beyond our mind, you will find so much freedom. But that requires getting to a level where you are okay being beyond the five physical senses. So your five physical senses tell you this is who you are. Start asking yourself, who else can I be? If right now I look like this, my weight is like this, who else can I be? I started that, body transformation journey, I believe about 2 years ago. And it was so wonderful to go through that. As I started seeing myself different, my body started shedding weight like, it was nothing. And my body has been holding on to that weight for like, a good decade. It was all me playing with my perception. Again, that is how powerful you are. But when your perception is limiting you to think you are whatever you are in this moment, you're not going to be connected to your root. Because if you look at yourself not as how your root or your soul or that metaphysical aspect of you look at you, if that doesn't matches, your heart stays closed. If you have not given me the right number, it would be impossible for me to ever have a conversation with you on the phone. I can keep dialing bajillion, trillion combinations, but if I don't have your direct number, I will never be able to talk to you over phone. That's exactly the relationship between our limitless self and our limited self is. We start believing I'm a human stuck in this body and there's not much I can do. Again, our perception is dedicated by the level of trauma we have experienced. And what trauma is, anything that happens that separates you from your limited self, that in that moment, your unconscious mind believe that you are this limited version. And it takes on that belief and you start thinking, okay, I am this limited version. It can happen through extreme situations that you have experienced. It can happen because somebody just bullied you in school. It could be small, it could be big, it could be anything. Anytime something is thrown at you and you think it's true about you, that creates a separation. And every separation that is created from your um, infinite self closes your heart. So, again, doing a deeper work of improving your self image can really shift your reality and help you connect with your limitless self. The third piece we want to talk to, and then we'll start moving into how to get to that limitless self and how to connect with that, is fear. Fear is a number one thing. Fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, whatever name you want to give it, or you can also call it lack. When we believe in lack, everything shuts down. It's almost like a person who is a billionaire and doesn't even know that that is the amount sitting in their trust fund. How do you think they are going to live? A person who is a billionaire, but they don't know it. And they believe, they are just this whatever middle class, upper middle class, or maybe they think they have million. How would they live if they don't even know they are a billionaire? That's how we get disconnected. Lack is one of the biggest illusion that we live with. The reason we live with that illusion because your five senses tell you. Your five senses tell you you don't have a million in your bank account. You don't have a life partner in your life right now. Look at your body. It's not even healthy. Look at yourself. You don't even look successful. So your five physical senses tell you, and then we believe it. We go into worry, we go into fear, and we go down that rabbit hole, and then we just stay there. The opposite of it would be trust, certainty, a belief in abundance. And that comes when you really start digging deeper to where are you? You're not just on this, blue marble moving around in a solar system that is just, suspended in space. Like if for a moment we think about it, your legs might start to shake, your stress response might get activated. Well, maybe I can fall off of it. That trust, that knowing I am part of something big and I'm not just another number. And we'll talk more about it in a few. When we start building that certainty, that is what connects you with that infinite self, but fear is going to close your heart. It's going to shut down the door to that infinite self. So now let's get into what is this infinite self? What is this limitless reality and why we are even talking about it? I'm going to use the analogy of you driving from New York City to California. One way to drive is you just fill up your gas tank and you know it's west and you start going west. One day, at some point, you will make it to California. You might have to make few stops on the way. You might have to, get lost few times. You might have to ask few people. You might have to, even get to a level where you're like, let's give up. I'll just go back home. But if there's enough desire, eventually you'll get there. Most of us, including me, I'm not excluded from it, that is how we are living our life. One day we'll make it. Let me just keep putting effort in it every single day, not realizing that I am pushing a car that doesn't even have gas in it. And I'm expecting it to move, or maybe one day it will move. Most of the areas in our life, that is how we are putting effort in it. What is another way of living is getting a map, even better, a GPS that can guide you and how fast you can get from New York City to California. Some people who drive straight, like, under 3 days, you can get there. If you have multiple drivers switching, it's almost a 30-hour drive, you can get there. Just compare that way of living and this way of living. And I'm still in a process of switching to like, where you have a GPS and you go. And some of the amazing, miraculous things I have experienced in my life, that is where my passion come. I want to share with other people how easy and effortless it is. So now I'm going to help you cultivate three beliefs, just three beliefs, write them down, keep them with you, and three energies within you to activate. What these three energies are going to do, they're going to make sure your heart stays open. Stuff will come in your life. You stay connected with that, your heart stays open. When your heart stays open, you're connected with your root. When you're connected with your root, you got direct electricity coming to you. Everything is going to illuminate in your world. Everything is going to start becoming effortless, easy, synchronicities, things that were stuck for like 10 years. All of a sudden, the doors are opening. That is how powerful it is to be in touch with our infinite, unlimited self. We all have come from endless world. Light is endless. Light is self-sustaining. Our five senses tell us, no, you're limited. So now let's get into it. The first one is we are going to talk about how you live in the world. Again, it is going to cover the perception, it is going to cover the judgment, all of that. How do you live in the world? Do you live as you're somebody big? Do you live as you're somebody small who needs to be just diminished and disappear and hiding and just do a little bit? And you just go into that, let me just be a giver, 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 because your significance is coming from giving, but you're not truly activating who you are. So we are going to switch to an energy. I call it red carpet energy. Have you ever seen Oscars and, there's a red carpet and people love to walk on it because when they're walking on it, they are fully in the spotlight. They're somebody important. And I know all the actors and actresses and all the big names, they are invited, but some people will even purchase a ticket because they want to have that experience. And some people, when they have an event, they will put down a red carpet and everybody just feels so amazing walking down that because that has become symbolic in our world, walking down red carpet. I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine you're this big shot star walking down the red carpet, and they're like, reporters on the both sides. Somebody wants to take your autograph. Someone wants to take a picture of you because it's the only moment they can, catch a shot of you, and it's going to just your picture is going to be worth so much money. You are that important. How does that feel? That is the feeling for, that most of the people they work towards it. They want that feeling and they want to live that way, that red carpet feeling. Now, let me help you understand. You are already that important. There is a force, a light force, that thought of you, created you, placed you where you are right now in this very specific moment. Whatever you're doing, in that force's eyes, you are that important. Everything that you do, it is that important. When you just sit on your, sofa, like, 8 p.m., so tired, and you're inhaling the light from your root, from your non-physical self. When you're exhaling, you're sharing that light with everyone around you in the world. You are a source of light sitting here. You're a light bulb or a candle that is illuminating this world. Even if you never do anything, even if you never help a soul, you just sit there and you're just breathing. That's why in most part of the world, human life has that value and that importance. Sometimes we don't realize like why we're so hung up on like, like human has so much value and this and that, why there's all these causes exist, because you are that important. It does come from a spiritual perspective. A human is that important. Your presence on this planet is already illuminating so many other people. Now, let me go a little bit broader than that. You cannot see, but there's so much help around you all the time. You have your guiding angels. If you choose to believe in that or you don't choose to believe in that, you have, your spiritual helpers who are whispering in your ears, go here, do this, do that. For three of us who showed up here, something within you said, show up there. Something might get activated within you. Now, for a moment, just close your eyes and imagine you're walking down this red carpet we call your life, and all the eyes are on you because you're that important. Every move that you make is going to create a ripple effect in the universe because you are that important. The day you will decide to start seeing yourself that important, that in itself is going to create a ripple effect. The day you'll decide I am going to break through the wounds of my lineage, that is going to create ripple effect in the universe. You're that important. So the energy I invite you to connect with from this moment on is that feeling of living life as if you're walking down the red carpet. So the next time you're washing dishes or doing mundane work like, cleaning your toilet or doing laundry, connect with that feeling. Of course, when you are at work, you feel important because, you're adding value to someone's life through your skills, through your work. But can you connect with that energy when you're doing mundane things? Can you feel you're that important? Can you just sit on your couch tonight, right before you knock out watching, binge watching Netflix? Can you just feel, oh my God, I am that important? In that moment, you know what is happening energetically? Your heart is opening. You're dropping the illusion of your five senses that says you're nobody, you're not whole, you're not enough. And that chatter is never going away. The only difference would be going forward for you, you would just learn so much about your infinite self that you'll start believing it. And this chatter won't matter. Let's say there's a child who's adopted, right? They got adopted into a regular family. They lived a regular life, and one day they discovered they are actually, heir of some billionaire, and some mistake happened. That's why, they are where they are. So from the moment that they learn it, and then what happens first, of course, they are in shock. It's hard to believe for them. They think it's a joke. So you might be thinking, whatever Alia is sharing, that's like, too much. How can I be that important? Then they start going to that house. Then they start meeting with the lawyer. Then they start meeting with the family. And then, maybe they even get their DNA testing done. And now it has been confirmed that that is where they come from. And then one day they just get convinced, oh my God, I am this rich, extremely rich person. Their identity shifts. They start to see themselves as a different person. Can you allow yourself to get to that level where you can feel that infinite self? And of course, it is going to require everyday training of your physical senses, that what you see about yourself, what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself is not the real you. The real you is endless. That endless energy is just living through this limited body. But when we are present, when we are conscious, we can break through our own limitation of physical body. And that is something I love to do. It just brings me so much joy when I'm able to break through something within me. Not going to go into details right now, but I can share with you, I can attest to you that it is one of the most elated feeling when you can do something within you that at one point you thought you're not even capable of doing. So if you don't even understand anything else I'm about to say, just hone into this red carpet, walking down that beautiful aisle lit with all the lights and attention, feeling, and start living your life that way. So there's a belief that you can invite in your life. Going forward, you can write it down, you can keep it in your purse with you, you can take it wherever you go, you can put it as your wallpaper in your phone. And that is, I am so important that the universe will be incomplete without me. At this point, I'm convinced I am so important that this universe will be incomplete without me because I am a piece of the puzzle. And if one piece is missing, the puzzle is not complete. That's why I was created, so I can complete it. That's why you were created, so it can be completed. Each and every one of us are that important. You just live with this feeling and this level of belief, you are connected with your infinite self. You are connected with your root because now what's happening, you're vibrating at the frequency of your root because that is how your soul believes. Your soul doesn't know any limitation. Your soul doesn't know what laziness or lack is. It lives in an abundant universe. it's convinced it's abundant because it lives in it. We don't live in the universe. We live in a tiny box where we think everything is tiny, everything is small, everything is of lack. Now, the second thing, the second energy I'm going to invite you to connect with, and the belief I'll share afterwards, is certainty. My friend, if you can connect with the energy of certainty within you, I can tell you, you're going to be the most free person that no one ever will be able to control or manipulate. I personally live in that space most of the time, and it is just so much fun seeing people try to control and manipulate me, but they can't get there because I live with certainty. What is certainty? Certainty is I'm already safe. I don't need a safety plan. I am already safe. So let me share the consciousness behind it. There was a moment in time where there is a powerful source, light, thought of you, created you, and that source has nourished you. And then one day, that nourished light decided to descend into a body. So, your parents conceived you, and here you come. Here you are right now. That light sustained you when you were in your mom's womb. That light sustained you afterwards, even though our parents love to say, I raised you, I fed you, look how you're talking to me. I try my best not to, do that to my child, but it's very tempting to do that. And that is the same force that is providing you right now. That is certainty that I will always be provided for. And nothing is disappearing or going. If a job is going to leave my life, you know that means that was supposed to happen. If a person is going to leave my life, that is what was supposed to happen. When we live with that certainty, fear has no place to come. Lack has no place to come. Now, let me help you understand in more human terminology. Let's say you're in school and you have a friend and she has, let's say, a billionaire dad. Her dad provides the best car, the best everything. She always have like infinite cards. For that girl or for that child, in her world, she doesn't even know what it means to not have something. She cannot understand the struggle you go with where you have to ask your parents for $10 because you wanted to go for movies. Like that person just it doesn't even exist in their consciousness. That is how soul lives. That is certainty. That child knows my dad is always here. My dad will always provide for me. Of course, my dad will always provide for me. Now, can we take that consciousness and bring it to, of course, we cannot see the light force with our eyes, but again, if you train your non-physical eyes, your inner eye to see that, you can see that. The day I started seeing God, I was like, I don't care about anyone else or someone's opinion or what's happening or the world falling apart. I see that consistent light. I know that light is present with me. I know that light is the one that is providing me. I'm not providing myself, it's the light providing. That certainty, wide open heart. Now, there's no lack, there's no limitation. We get into a problem when we think we are doing thing. And that is the work, of course, I continuously do on myself, and I lead my clients through it too. We think, I am working, I raised kids, I am going to do this, I am going to put myself out there, I'm going to, drive the car, I am going to the grocery store. We think we are doing something. I am the one saving. I'm the one now buying a house. I'm the one who's getting a promotion. I'm the one going back to school getting a degree. We think we are doing it all. But my friend, it was always provided. And that light inspires us. Hey, what about go study this now? What about go do this now? 2 years ago, I had some very specific questions. And for 6 months, I was just continuously saying one mantra over and over and over and over. And that was, open my mind to higher consciousness. Like I would be saying that all day long, open my mind to higher consciousness because I felt like I'm a little stuck in my brain. My brain cannot see beyond that, whatever I'm seeing. And one day, literally, I was on Instagram and this ad came in front of me, and I just knew that is what I'm supposed to study next. Signed up, having no idea what I'm getting myself into. But that was the answer to what I was asking. But when we know that I'm always being guided and inspired to where I need to go, I didn't find that. I didn't study that. I was being inspired and guided to go there. So then my faith would be not in me, in that power, in that infinite light, in that endless light. I know my soul is always going to be here. I know my soul is always going to inspire me to share something wonderful. I know my soul will always going to give me the power to do whatever I want to do. Whether it's a beautiful relationship, whether it's creating abundance, whether it's creating a healthy body, I will just show up for the task. So that is called getting out of the way and realizing the light is doing everything through you. But what it does over time, it starts to create this certainty within you, that trust within you. Hey, there is something within me that shows up whenever I need it. For example, I've been building a habit to go to gym 6 times a week, and I never feel like going there, by the way. In all honesty, I never even, not even a single day up until now, it's been almost more than 3 months that I woke up and I was like, yeah, let's go to the gym. I don't feel like going it. In that moment, I close my eyes and take a deep breath and I'm like, light, help me get there. And all of a sudden, I get this surge of energy and I'm able to get out of bed and I can go. That helps me build my trust in that light within me. That is the certainty. So, your job is not providing you safety. Your husband is not providing you safety. Your other partners are not providing you safety. You're not providing yourself safety. You will always be provided for. I can guarantee you 100%. Right now, you can sell your home or whatever possession you have. You can pack your bag. You can go and settle in middle of nowhere in Australia or New Zealand or other part of the world. And you'll be surprised within few days, you are going to have a very established life. Where did that come from? That is the source that is always providing you. The more you start focusing on that certainty, one, of course, your heart is staying open, but then you stay connected with your limitless self. Now, you don't have to think about, oh my God, I'm so lazy, I can never do anything. All you have to do, okay, pause. I know the light is here. I know the light can help me do whatever I want. All I need to do is open up for it. When you ask your child, your partner, your mom, hey mom, can you give me a glass of water? Or hey kid, can you give me a glass of water? Or to your partner, hey, can you give me a glass of water? What do you expect for them to bring a glass of water? Why? Because there's a deep connection. You're asking from your root. It is your root. That is where you come from. You can ask anything. So building that certainty is going to make you limitless. And my friend, again, whatever I teach from embodiment. I kid you not how true this is. When you have that certainty and when you start living with that certainty, um, the kind of doors that open, it's beyond your mind because when we live from the heart, it's beyond your mind. It's beyond logic. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm pretty sure when someone is going to listen to this recording, they'll be like, I have no idea what Ali is talking about because they're so stuck in their head. They're not ready to come out of that. When you're ready to come out of your head and you can be in your heart and you can hold on to the frequencies that open your heart, that is when you get to experience a life that if you tell someone else, they'll be like, For real? That is so crazy. But that is how I get to live, and that is how I see other people get to live who live with that level of consciousness. And that is the limitless, endless reality, that consciousness that is beyond logic, beyond your mind. So the second energy I invite you to connect within you is the energy of certainty, knowing you're always provided. So you can write it on a piece of paper. I am always provided. I want to read something to you that I wrote with my mentor. Um, I wrote down, God loves me from the day he created me. God is providing me every second. I'm an abundant soul. I can have as much as I want and some. I am here because I know how to receive. Like some of us, we have this block, like, oh, I have hard time receiving. Yes, you have hard time receiving. You can break through that right now. It's literally like turning on a switch. But if you don't know where the switch is or how far you are from that switch, you'll you'll think you're turning on the switch, but then you're like, where's the light? Where's that certainty? I'm not getting it. The way to get to that switch is this level of consciousness, knowing the truth about your soul, about your existence, not just about your lineage. Oh, I am born from this ethnicity. My ancestor lived here, then they lived here. We're so obsessed with our physical presence and we get stuck in that. And some people start hating each other based on that too. But we all come from the same non physical root, pure light, infinite light, endless certainty. When you put your certainty there, that I'll be always provided no matter what happened, your life is going to blossom in a way where people around you, they'll be like, what did you do? That is the magic of the heart. That is the magic of having an open heart. Now, I just want to put a clause right there about certainty. The reason it is so hard when you'll be ready to cross a bridge onto the other side of a different version of you, all the fears are going to come smacking in your face. And what happens, most of us, when we get there, we get scared, we shrink, and we run back and we say, oh, I had a weird gut feeling. Of course, getting to a level where you can tell where it's gut feeling and it's just, your fear has been activated, and having so much certainty that you can walk through that fear and you can tell what this lack is an illusion. I can walk through it. I will be okay on the other side. I know no matter what happened, I'll be safe, I'll be okay because light is providing for me, not any human. Unfortunately, we get stuck in this reality that human provide for us. Not a single human provides for you. Even if your parents have given you billions, not a single human provides for you. Light provides for you. Your root provides for you. When you can hold on to that certainty every single day, and the belief would be, I'm always provided, you will be amazed to see the magic that will happen in your life. I've personally walked through that. That's why I can teach you from so much conviction. The fears that I went through last year, even I was surprised that I didn't run back. But I kept going through that and I came into a reality. It was almost like I just jumped into a different reality, a different version of me that till this day, it's been, about 5 months. There are days I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm living this reality. That is what I'm talking about. A version of you beyond logic, beyond the limitation of your mind. You get to experience that. Last one, the last energy that I'm going to invite you to stay connected to create a limitless reality for you is called the energy of possibilities. The belief is anything is possible at any point. Whether you have a pile of debt on your head, whether you have a stuck career, whether you have a sick body, whether you have, a series of failed relationship, whether you're going through divorce, you're going through bankruptcy, no matter what you're going through, everything can switch shift in an instant. That is how this universe is created. When everything aligns and you don't know maybe how aligned you already are, things can switch in an instant. And again, I can smile saying that I have personally experienced that instant moment. And it can switch in an instant. It doesn't need to take 10 years. Your weight doesn't need to take like 50 million years to get off. Sometimes we are in our 60s or 70s still carrying baby weight. Doesn't have to be this way. Everything can change instantly because all you need to do is come to the same frequency as your root. It can happen next moment. Whatever is, keeping you stuck can change right away. When you believe that, when you move around with that energy, of course your heart stays wide open, but at the same time you become a magnet to all the miracles that exist beyond logic. Miracle is something that our five senses cannot explain. The world of the heart, when our heart is open and we are playing with our physical reality, because now we are, hand in hand with our root, with our metaphysical self, our non-physical self, when we are holding hands with that, things shift so fast. And in our world, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Other people look at you and they're just like, what did you do? What are you on? Maybe physically you're not taking actions, but you are tuned into the channel of possibilities. And once you have one experience, you're going to be sold. Then you will start bringing that consciousness in other areas of life. Anything is possible. And I personally have found, like, when people say, oh, doing this thing is like finding a needle in the haystack. Last year, I found the needle in the haystack, and that completely shattered the way I view this physical reality. I really stepped into anything is possible. If this is possible, anything is possible. So the third energy you'll be connecting within you is anything is possible. One time I remember my mentor saying, David Nagel, his mentor was Bob Proctor. He said, Bob Proctor used to say this phrase, magic is in the air. Something magical is about to happen. Something along those lines. I think I'm paraphrasing, but that is how I remember it. And some days I'm like, magic is in the air. Something amazing is happening. When we live in that level of possibilities, now you're playing with the universe. Now you're like, yes, let's create magic. I have realized I am this giant light and I am ditching this matchbox where I felt I was stuck, but it was just an illusion. And just holding on to these three beliefs, you get to create your limitless self. I'll just repeat the three energies is the feeling of living as if you're living life so important that you're walking down a red carpet. You feel so important. And your belief is, I am so important that that universe will be incomplete without me. And the second energy is the energy of certainty that you're always provided. You're never providing for yourself. Don't think you're going to go out and earn money. You would be inspired to go specific places, and the energy will come through you to do the work, to share the gifts that are within you, whether you're an accountant, lawyer, doctor, whether you are a service provider, whether you sell insurance, whatever you do. You'll be inspired to do it, but never be fooled that the money is coming from this sale. No, that is just a channel. Money always comes from God. The third one is the energy of possibility. Anything is possible at any time. The switch can happen in an instant. You have now, like, kind of like a side note after all that. You might, listen to this conversation and you're practicing it, and a month has gone by and you're like, where is my limitless reality? Alia said her happened right away. Where's my limitless reality? If here's your root, We don't know where you are. Are you that far or this far or this far or this far? Like there's some things in my life that happened like this. There's something that took me few months. When I really want something, sometimes it takes me 12 hours to get there. So you don't know where you are. Your work is to keep working at it. And there's one goal that I wrote down, I believe in November of 2022. It still did not come true. Till this day, I'm still working on it because I know the more work I put in, the closer I'm getting to it. It's all about opening my heart to the belief that I have it. My soul already have it, and the physical self can also have it because it already exists at the energy level. Now, that is where we practice a lot of self compassion and self love, knowing that the work that I'm doing, I'll get there. That's why we never compare our life with other people because everyone is in a different spot. Some some might be like this close and they listen to this and they're like, boom, oh yeah, next week something magical happened. Some might be here. It might take them a month. Some might be way far. Some might be like, I have no idea what she's talking about. So they won't even be able to get anywhere close. So know that wherever you are, it's going to be different. Of course, if you want to speed up the process, you can always reach out to me and you can work one-on-one with me and I can help you get there a little faster. Now, the last piece. Your life will be dictated by one thing only. What do you want? If you don't know that, you're a loose leaf flying around in the air. It's not, it's just going, you're just living with the collective consciousness, and collective consciousness right now is pure chaos. So if you're experiencing chaos in your life and you're like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, still I'm feeling chaotic because you don't know what do you want in your life. So the first thing I will ask you to do after, like, after we are done here, or maybe later tonight, ask yourself, what do I want in my life? Pick one thing. Don't say like, I want a stable this, I want a passive income, I want to lose weight, I want to get married, I want a home. Don't do that. What is one thing you want? Like for this year, I'm working on just one goal. Yes, there are other things I'm doing, but inside of me, there's only one thing I'm working towards. What is it that you want? Because when you focus all your energy on that one thing, instead of a year, you might will achieve that in 1 month. And then after that, you can ask yourself, what do I want? And then again, connect with that feeling of living it on the red carpet, that feeling of certainty. Anything is possible. Focus all the energy, and then you create that. So, as we are coming to a wrap, I am going to pause the recording and then we can go to question answer if anyone have a question. Once again, there you are an infinite being. If you don't realize that while you are in a physical body, it's life has a very different flavor. If you do have the desire, I will say invest the time, energy, and money in yourself to get to that level. That is the path I am on every day when I'm in a different class, and I study every single day. When I'm in a different class, when I learned another aspect of me, life feels so joyful without any reason. Like there could be chaos going around me, but internal peace is so much deeper because that connection with the root, knowing I am way more than this body, is such a beautiful gift we can give to ourselves as a human. And from that place, we can create so much in the world. So, so, so much in the world. And with that, we are coming to a wrap. If this is a journey you want to go deeper, you can go to my website, aliajamalcoaching.com, and you can book a consultation. And I will see you all in a month for the next master class. And I would be pausing the recording now.